What's up, guys? Isaac Vando here, and today I have a video on how to easily solve the Pyraminx using the Keyhole method. So let's get into it. So before we get started, there is one thing that I highly recommend that you know how to solve the Pyraminx using the layer by layer method, because that will make this whole process much simpler and much easier to understand. But that is optional, so you don't need to know it. Now you can just dive in, but again, that's up to you. So the Keyhole method consists of several steps. First off, building a block on one of these tips, like so. Then placing all of the centers into their appropriate places. Next, solving the remaining spot in the top so that it is complete. And lastly, doing one of the last layer cases to solve the rest of the cube, like so. Okay, so now let's get into the first step. So first, you're going to need to build a block on one of any of these centers. So it's best if you're color neutral for this method. So just pick any center and then build around that. So I see this one and I see that piece that it needs to go there. So I will just put it in kind of like that. And then I see this piece right here, so I'll put it in like that. It's very intuitive, probably the easiest part. Now that step is done, so we'll move on. After you've done that, you need to look at the tip. And so you see, okay, so we have green, red, and yellow. So that means that all of the blue centers need to be on this side, because that's the one color that's not on this tip. So we need to turn those centers down to this side. So we could just do that, but then that messes up this. So what you do instead is you turn it so that this empty edge is above the center you want to turn down. So I'll turn this blue down, and then it doesn't mess this up. Still repeat that process, going all the way around, and then that part is done. Next, you look at this last slot here, and then turn the top layer around until you find the edge that goes in that place. So in this case, it's this edge. So it needs to go there. So we could, do something like that, but then that messes up the center. So we have to use a really simple algorithm. So the alg just goes like this. Well, first you put the edge, and then so I see that this is green and this is red here. So I'll line these up so that they're opposite. So I don't want it like that, because then the edge will be put in wrong. So line it up so that these two colors on the front are opposite, and then we do R, L, R prime, L prime. And now this top is solved and we can move it back. Now there is one additional case where you could have the correct edge in this slot but flipped. So what we'll do is we'll find any other one of these edges down here and put that in this spot. So we can use the alg, put that in. And now I can take this and line it up so these are opposites, and then do it. And now that edge is put in correctly. Now once we've completed all those steps, we have to proceed to the last layer. So there are, I'll say, 3 different cases that you have to do with your left or your right hand. So there are more if you count those, but it's pretty simple. So this is the most basic case. It just uses a sledgehammer. So it's pretty simple. So these 3 edges need to be switched around. So you want to look for the edge that's, well, first, so this edge, we can see the green and red. It needs to come down to here, okay? And this yellow and red needs to go down to there. So the thing is, I see, what you do is you want to see the edge that goes into the place of the edge that the color isn't matching to the face. So that may not make sense, but you see, this color there is matching. So I know that this edge needs to go here, so I can do that with one move. So, but this edge also needs to go there with one move. So you pick the edge that goes to the place of where the edge isn't oriented properly. So I see this, and then I can do a sledgehammer, and then it's solved. So if you don't know what a sledgehammer is, it's just R prime, L, R, L prime. And this is the exact same case, but just for the other hand. So same thing, but just L, R prime, L prime, R. And there you go. Now here is another case. So this is where you have 2 edges flipped in place. So what you're going to do for this is from either side, you can start left or right. You'll hold it like this and then do a sledgehammer. So I do right. and then you can either flip and then do a left-handed sledgehammer, or what I do is I re-grip so that my hand is up here, and then I go down, down, up, up, like that. So if it's simpler, just rotate over, and then you see this brings us to the first case. So then I just see that this needs to go there, and this is misoriented, and we just put it into place like that. And here is the last possible kind of case where all three edges are oriented properly, but they all need to switch places. So this blue needs to go there, and this yellow needs to go there, and the red needs to go there. So what you'll do is, holding it like this, you'll see which edge which edge needs to go here. So, but this also could go the other way, where this edge would need to go there. But I think in this case, you see that the blue needs to go this way. So I'll do a sledgehammer in my left hand, and then it gives you the first case, and you can just solve that like that, or, you know, with a sledgehammer like this. Here's the same kind again, but instead this piece needs to go there. So we'll start the sledgehammer from this side, and then we get one of these last cases, and we can solve it like this. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that it helped you. And if it did, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, comment. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below, and I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.